Hey boys, welcome back to some more Cricket 19 My Player Career, and the Indian series is officially done and dusted. It was a great series, a triumphant one at that. As a team note, undefeated. Yeah, undefeated for the series, which is excellent. And as a personal note, we had an outstanding season. We had an outstanding series. A couple. How many did we get? One or 200s? I think only the 100, but good runs all across the board. A match-winning 100 in our first game we played, which was absolutely outstanding. Handful of wickets. Didn't get a fifer, but pretty much I would have averaged 3 wickets an innings, which is outstanding for an all-round spin bowler, and more of a part-timer. I mean, we are a fairly genuine all-rounder in stats and figures, but primarily we are in the team for batting, so any wickets we get is just gravy on top, and to get a couple of innings is outstanding. But we're back. Most international players probably have a little bit of a break, but we can't get enough of cricket. We can't get enough of the cricket, my dude. So we're straight back on a plane, straight back to Australia, and playing in a Shield match against the Redbacks here. So I don't know what's next on the agenda. I think when I looked a little bit ago, I think the next things coming up are a test series against South Africa in Australia. I think that might be the next team off the ranks there. As we're gonna pick up a wicket early on in our spell here. Beautiful. I was gonna say beautiful bowling. It really just sort of a nothing type ball. It was an okay delivery. Just a bit of a loose shot, we shall say. Bit back of a length. Kelvin Smith there, the left-hander, looking to drive on the up against the ball, spinning away. Very risky shot. Should have probably been back and across to that one and just sort of defended or try to play a cut shot. But he risked it, and a little inside edge, I think it was. So the Redbacks here absolutely struggling, and boy oh boy, this is turning into quite the thumping at the minute. Good lord. We come out with a 57 average, so that's looking mighty impressive. We lead by 249, and we are 2 for 338. Matty Renshaw, 156 off 220, absolutely killing it. He's actually back from internationals as well. He was batting at 3 in the test side, so obviously deserving his selection. And it'll be interesting to see now when we play some Shield cricket. We'll see who backs up and who doesn't, and how they've been going in the Shield stuff. So Matty Renshaw, obviously opening for our team, the Bulls, but in the test side he's batting at 3 and doing a bang up job, as that is a beautifully whipped shot off the pads. We're fairly accustomed to the spin. Adam Zampa, he's no mug. One of the better Aussie spinners going around. I know he's fairly he's not well liked by a lot of people, I would say, Adam Zampa, but he's a decent spinner. In the longer format, probably not as good, but the shorter format he's quality. So not anything to sneeze at, but we definitely been versing some fairly quality spin over in India, so shouldn't trouble us too much, especially a ball like that. Just leg side, able to whip it away, hits the man in close, so we're gonna just pinch a single. But yeah, it's good to, it's always good. It's sort of it's a little bit like an equivalent. It was this Daniel Worrell. For some reason, he's got the slinging action, even though in real life Worrell's action is fairly it's a fairly nice looking bowling action. He's got a very standard action. It's a very clean bowling action, but they've given him the old slinger. It's always an absolute treat to come up against a slinger. It's good fun. But what I was going to say, it's sort of the equivalent here of, in rugby league sense, going from an origin match to come back to club land. Hopefully we can we should be a better player for our international little experience there, and scoring some runs, picking up some wickets. So we should come back to, you know, state cricket here and absolutely dominate. Really, that's the goal, because, you know, I don't know how the selectors are working. We should have some pretty good standing going into, you know, future test matches for sure. Hopefully our performances aren't directly correlated to getting selected, because we might have a couple of shockers coming out back to Shield cricket here. But you know, we still have to perform if we go into another test series with some bad form, a little bit of low confidence. It's not a good mixture. So, you know, we want to come back and treat these Shield games like internationals. Basically, we want to put value on our wickets. We want to, you know, do everything we can to score bulk runs. So that's going to be the plan. As yeah, myself and Renshaw absolutely, well, Renshaw's doing the bulk of the work. We're just working our way into this innings. Lead of 264 already though. That's it's going to be a tough road back for the Redbacks here. It's gonna be very tough. I don't know what it is. I feel like every time we come up against South Australia, we absolutely dominate them, even though they've got a pretty good batting lineup. Maybe not so much in the longer formats. They got a lot of good young talent, especially in the shorter format of cricket. They've been fairly dominant, but I don't know. I actually don't really know how a lot of these guys in the Redbacks team have been going in first class cricket as of late. Honestly, I think Weatherald has actually scored pretty decent runs in Shield cricket recently. Alex Carey, I don't think has done that well, because I know the funny thing is a lot of, like, you know, I've thought the same thing as well, that I think Alex Carey should probably come into the test side for Tim Paine. I mean, there's no real need to drop Paine. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he's still decent with the bat, and he's obviously a very good wicket keeper. But you know, when you look at Alex Carey's batting stats, that's a pretty decent back foot drive there. But if you look at Alex Carey's first class batting stats, they're not that good. You know, it's not something that he's demanding to be picked, really. You know, shorter format, he's doing a fantastic job, but yeah, the first class stuff, I actually just quickly looked up. I was looking, so replay of this one quickly. I thought it was pretty close. The left-hander, you know, the angle going in, it was a bit of a risky lead for sure with Winter coming around the wicket, but you know, there's only two types of leads, and that was a good one. So we'll take it. But yeah, looking at Alex Carey's first class career as it stands, average of, you know, 33.8, strike rate of 58, which is pretty solid. But it's decent for sure. Like for a wicket keeper batsman, it's decent, but it's not anything that he's belting the door down to be picked like a lot of people think he should be. I think he will be in the test side in the near future. I think Paine is there until he steps down, probably, because I don't really see them dropping Paine. But Alex Carey, I think, definitely is next in line. But there's Alex Carey could be one of these unlucky guys, because I know the funny thing is back in the day, Tim Paine was probably the unlucky wicketkeeper batsman. Obviously, he's been in the test side now and he's the captain, so things have sort of turned around. But I know back in the day, Tim Paine was sort of the guy that was going to. Oh no, that is a quality catch. It slipped there. The ball indicator just. It tricked me, dude. It was actually like a good length delivery, but the marker was showing it was going to be like a full length ball, but it bamboozled me. It was just sort of a good length delivery, caught the outside edge, and a great catch and slip. So very unfortunate there. Is Matty Renshaw does get a big double 100 here, huge, and I do end up declaring. Because he would have been batting all day, dude. So I declared with a huge total on the board. Still pretty early in the game, so it wasn't a huge rush. But I thought thought we might as well send him back in. But yeah, back in the day, like after Gilchrist, Tim Paine was sort of the guy that was talked about to come in. Like he was a fantastic keeper, and his batting was good. Like he was a fairly aggressive batter. He was averaging probably like 30s, 40s in Shield cricket, and he was the guy that was touted to be the next long-term prospect. But then injuries, and then he had later he had some family issues. Like I don't know what exactly happened, but I know his daughter had some sort of sickness. I don't think she passed away, hopefully. But it was something fairly major. It might have been cancer. But yeah, he had injuries early on in his career, and then it was some sort of family issue that sort of derailed his sort of middle part of his resurgence, and now he's back in the team. So the point I was going to get to with that is Alex Carey. I don't think it'll happen to him, but he could potentially become sort of a Tim Paine, because Carey has been sort of thereabouts, and he's sort of touted as the next long-term option. But there are quite a few good young keeper batsmen coming through. I mean, one that sort of jumped out of the bushes at the moment is Josh Philippe. I mean, obviously the shorter form cricket, he's really knocking the door down, but he's a guy that I got to be honest, I'd love to see really step up to a longer form and improve his batting, because he looks like an absolute gun. So there's some guys. There's definitely a few about that. It's gonna be interesting to see who they end up going with. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Australia, they generally do have good keeper batsmen. Is right here. Pretty close shout, but I know it's sort of obviously after Gilchrist, no one's really going to get to that level again, and maybe people would have thought, Australia's keeper batsmen haven't been that good, but I mean, Haddin was excellent. His average wasn't incredible, but he so many times Haddin and the tail order put on bulk tail ender runs and really saved Australia's asses in a lot of games. Tim Paine has done an excellent job, and just there's always been a lot of good young keeper batsmen in Australia, and I feel like we're sort of in a little bit of a boon for that at the present time. There's quite a few coming through, and it's sort of a matter of which one of these guys really takes it by the scruff of the neck and starts performing and really belting the door down to be that next guy picked. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the nod. But we go back to this game. They're 8 for 301. They're actually doing a fairly decent little defensive job here, but they're still 175 runs behind. Now it's 146. We're into our 14th or 15th over. Can't get a wicket, dude. Bring me back to test matches. It was way easier to get wickets, but we come around the wicket here. How was that miss? Joe Manny, he's putting up some decent defensive work here. Actually scoring pretty freely. This is the slider. He did get a little tickle on it, but it must have been a bump ball. So love to get this final wicket, finish the game now and then, and rest up. Obviously, we haven't had to do too much this match. It's been absolute domination. We could get a run out. I think he's gone, dude. Oh boy. The last wicket's gonna be a freaking run out. Yeah, I think he's in trouble. probably didn't need to push the third there, but yeah, that's definitely gone. So unfortunately, we're not gonna get a chance to get a wicket per se, but we get the run out off our bowling. So we'll take half the wicket there, and we win by an innings and 144 runs, set up by a fantastic innings up the top by Renshaw, and also who was the other opener? Was it Joe Burns? Joe Burns, 164 for 180. Good lord, that is an absolute thumping. He got 89 in the first innings. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.